Hi, Mr. Baljit Kaliravna. How are you today?
Good, good, Ramona. How are you doing?
I am doing very well. I want to start by congratulating you for this massive accomplishment that was just signed yesterday on Saturday. And so I'm very happy on a Sunday you can join us today to tell our listeners what you've accomplished. We did let them know a little bit, but of course, hearing from you is most important.
Yeah, thank you, Ramona. Thank you for bringing me on air. And I'm sure your listener will be Indian Chartered Accountant also. So this will be very helpful for them, as well as other listener who bring coming. The relatives are coming from India. They may be Chartered Accountant. So this will be very, very helpful for them also. So this just to update you on our MOU, we used to have another MOU we signed in 2010 for 5 years, which were expired on 2015, and now this new one renewal is getting better, better and better from the previous one. This MOU is between CPA Canada, which is a accounting body for Canadian Chartered Accountants, and Indian Chartered Accountant, which is Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. We call them ICAI. What we were able to get it is now an Indian Chartered Accountant who is coming to Canada, they just need to write one exam, which is called as a final exam, and technical name is Common Final Examination. We call it CFE. And our members are encouraged to write capstone 1 and 2 if they want to, because this is very helpful to write a CFA exam. So that's what Indian CA has to do it. They also need to meet the core experience of Canadian tax and some kind of thing which Indian Chartered Accountant have it. So I think that's main gist of this MOU.
That is absolutely fantastic. And it's such an amazing thing that I know when it comes to other chartered accountants that came here that were practicing in their home country, they didn't have the opportunity your chapter, ICAI was able to do yesterday for them, and of course going back to earlier, in 2015. How did you accomplish this?
Actually, this is the pain that we had it when we came back in early 2000s. Our friends came from, and we were not able to get any kind of recognitions in Canada. And everybody, when going for the job, they're asking designation as well as Canadian experience. So we went through that, and we tried to work together. So we group of chartered accountants come together in 2006 and form this chapter. Toronto chapter of ICAI, first chapter in North America, and then our friends is working in different sector, different industry, working in different organizations, help us to negotiate with CPA Canada and telling them, guys, designation is just a word. Indian Chartered Accountants are very educated, very experienced in the field of tax, accounting and auditing. So just compare our education with your education and your curriculum with our curriculum. So we sat together even in 2010 also, and this time also, and we sat both. Like Toronto chapter is just a facilitator for the both bodies. We are not signing authority, just to confirm it. So we in the Toronto chapter executive body, current and previous one, sat together with both bodies and read the line by line core courses for the both bodies and matches with them, and we were able to convince both bodies that whatever your students are studying, we are studying the same thing. So why board members of the both bodies has to write the exam again? So let's make it easy for members, and we were able to convince Canadian board authorities also, as well as Indian authorities. Okay, this will help in migration of the talent and exchange of the talent between both countries, so that if any Indian chartered accountant want to come in Canada, they will be able to they will decide earliest, so that they don't need to work very hard, they don't need to go high level of education again and again. So that's the reason we work together. Our current bodies and previous body worked very hard on this.
That is amazing what you've accomplished, because this is what we hear from so many people who migrate to Canada, and they say, we were told that we would, go into our jobs, we came here for a better future, for the Canadian dream, for our children, but we didn't understand that we wouldn't be able to have, to practice the same career, the same profession that we built in our home country here in Canada, and of course then having to take on, unskilled labor jobs, right, to be able to put food on the table, to be able to meet the demands of obviously a family that they have when coming to Canada. So that's one of the biggest challenges that newcomers face, because they weren't prepared of what they're going to lose, in their education and their profession.
Yeah, at this point of Ramona, just to add back, like when Indian Chartered Accountant is landing in Toronto, their first home is our chapter, because now we created a CPA helpline for the members, which is basically our dedicated team of the CPA helpline talk to them and explain them how to become a Canadian Chartered Accountant. This chapter is also providing services for the career corner. That means our friends, our chapter members are working in very high level CFO, CEO, executive level in Canada. So we asking them, if you need any accountant, please come to us. We will post that job free of cost to them. Our members are able to reach out to them directly, or they also have access to our member base if they want to bring somebody, just like a LinkedIn providing services. We also provide service to the different bodies, organizations, our chapter members who work, and they pick up the members. So our members are getting job now within 10-15 days, and I'm surprised to see that when I came to Canada in 2001, I was not in a position to negotiate the salary. Now our members are negotiating the first job salary. Oh, I want more than this because I can get more. We are very happy to see that our members are getting a proper respect when they land in this land of opportunities here in Canada.
Oh, fantastic. So now, so for the helpline, the CPA helpline, do you have to be a member to use that helpline?
Yeah, this is basically to be a paid member of our chapter. This is applicable to the paid member. But even if they called, we got a call from the non-paid member also. We are here to serve Indian Chartered Accountants. If they are not members, still we encourage them to become the member of the chapter. But if they are not member, we still try to help them. But we cannot provide same services as we give. Initially, we encourage them to become a member, and this is what it is. Everything is on the website. Anybody has access of the website. But we normally encourage member to become. I got a call from a chartered accountant from India. They want to come to Canada. What should they do? So we serve Indian chartered accountant community, whether they are member of a chapter or not. But definitely, as an organization, we encourage them to become our member.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great to even raise the awareness that this exists, and how much benefit you get from a membership. So for our listeners, I do want to share that if you want to get more information, go to ICAIToronto.com, and you'll see all the information there, just to be able to contact them by email and everything else. So, Baljeet, I want to hear about this amazing gala. You did have a chief guest. And how significant was it? You had, all sorts of speakers, and it was a great turnout. Please share with us, for anybody who missed it, what last night was like.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you to, particular to the member of your team and to Sears team that they help us. I don't want to put name there so that, they say they are advertising something, and to Sears presence add up the value to the whole gala. It's not, we don't try to politicize it. Basically, the member, we try to bring a person who is accomplished, a professional. He understands the value of the profession. So he came on the profession. He speaks very high about and integrity ethics. And our members were very happy. It's very positive feedback coming all over from our international communities. I'm a member of all chairmen of the chapters all over the world. Everybody is saying that it's not a political statement. It's like a person who speaks on your event is a professional, and our members were very, very happy with his guidance and opportunity. And he speaks very like the way he speaks is accountant's language. Normally he understands the accounting process. That's very important. Understand. So our gala becomes like a very shining gala. It's one of the best gala we have it, and we're getting guests like him. Add up the value for that. So we would like to thank you to Andrew CS through this channel. That thank you for coming to a gala. Thank you for his team to bringing him to be here. And thank you. I would say this is we call in India Sone pe Suhaga. it's like gold on everything. Thank you. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's not a politicized event, but at the same time, you will have, officials in government recognize what you've accomplished, because part of the challenge that we have with our immigration system is that we want to make sure that, the levels of people that we bring in, now about 300,000 immigrants a year, and, the professional community, that there's able to be some sort of standardization that they could fall through, some sort of equivalency in specific professions that, they won't have to start all over again. So what your chapter and, what your association has accomplished, this is noteworthy, and this is something that I'm sure that, our federal government as well as our provincial government is going to recognize, and this is something that you've also set a standard, a bar for other institutions, for other industries to be able to see how you accomplish this. Right? It is very important on the level of contribution, because what you've enabled is, families coming here, a professional coming here, then they can keep their dignity to go into their same profession. They don't lose the years of education and experience they have, and immediately they can go into the workforce and become contributing taxpayer members of society. So that's why it's not a political thing, but it is something that needs to be acknowledged from our government as well.
Yeah, definitely. I speaks about when he was speaking, Andrew mentions about fiscal responsibilities and accountants' role on that fiscal responsibility. Doesn't matter the government is in power or not in power. Every government needs somebody to explain that, and I think accountant is the best person to go over to the government or oppositions and asking their help if the things are not going according to fiscal. So, and I think he mentions very clearly in speech that accountants are very important to run the country responsibly on fiscal basis. So yeah, he was very clear about that in his speech also. I just sorry I forgot to mention that, but he was very, very clear about that, accountants' role in running the country, making the strategic policies, and because everything run by the money, and accountants are the best person to talk about the money and discuss about money.
Well, it is about the fiscal responsibility, and of course what you've seen in Ontario with the level of deficit that we have, and of course on a national level, it is concerning. So it is the accounting community that is being able to advise small to medium-sized businesses and even large corporations on how they must manage, and the level of contribution you have also given to government to be able to look at some of the policies we're putting out there, because these legislations that we're putting out there and policy do affect the bottom line and our economy.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. Yeah, as mentioned to you, Romana, it's going to be accountants are going to play their role at every time of the time, and our accountants are always non-political persons, and they always go to the government, tell them what you need to do, and that this is the role of the oppositions to bring that to the government. So, and we do our job all the time. Accountants in Canada as well as in India do their own roles and provide the feedback to opposition and government. And then I think it's their role to go to public to explain what is best for them.
Absolutely. And also what was accomplished yesterday with this MOU really resonates, and I thought about this immediately, is, I will never forget John F. Kennedy's, famous lines, it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. You know, and as a Canadian citizen, to be able to take this sort of, level of focus and this massive goal, to be able to accomplish it, I imagine it feels very good to do this for your country.
Yeah, definitely. This is what we do as a chapter also. So like I was a chartered accountant even before this MOU come into that. So basically it's doing to the country and what you can do for the country. Exactly what we try to do here. Like what our institute can do for us. We didn't wait for this. What we can do for our member. When even I was a chartered accountant, I'm not getting benefit of that. All our executive teams, I can tell the volunteer teams working for that, they are already chartered accountants. Our CPA helpline team is already CPA, CA. So, but what we see is always, let's see what we can give back to the profession. Same thing applicable to the country also. So basically, like what we can give back to the country. So we work on the same theme as you mentioned, Job Kennedy's name. Basically, it's exactly the same. Basically, we always pick up the theme from the great leaders, and that's what I think. I'm sure all other organizations in Canada also doing the same thing. And I think encourage our listener, if anybody is different organizations, I think they should sit to their counterparty here and they talk to them and explain to them This is what we studied in India or other countries. We work with other chapters of other different countries, and we working very closely with them. We helping them to get their MOU signed with CPA Canada, and other chapters of the different country come to us, and we are the front runner of working with CPA Canada. If they go back to I'm not just try to say feel too much proud of our chapter, but if any chapter is going to CPA Canada, they always say go to Toronto chapter of ICAI. They have a guidance. They will help you for that. So we providing the guidance and leadership to the all other chapters of different countries also here.
This is great. So for our listeners, if you want to get in touch with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the website is ICAIToronto.com, and alternatively, you can send them an email at info@ICAIToronto.com. And for anybody who is in the downtown area and you want to just drop by, they're at 66 Wellington Street West in Toronto. It's their mailing address. You can definitely mail them, and then, of course, get on their website, see all the different information. You can become a member from their website. And, Mr. Baljeet, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners about this?
No, I think that's it. Our website has all the information. So we have a FAQ, frequently asked questions about how to get a designation here. Our website have all the information. I think you did a great homework about our website and email address. Thank you very much for doing my job. Otherwise, I have to do it on the listener. And I encourage my Indian Chartered Accountant friends who are not member of the chapter to become chapter members, get benefited from us, and help the chapter to grow to different levels. Because I always tell and I always speak about a member say the chapter is for the members and by the members, just like the country is by the public, for the public. So we always have the same thing. The chapter is for the member, by the members. I encourage all the Indian Chartered Accountants to become chapter member and help us to make more development here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Baljeet Kaliravna, who's the director at ICAI. Thank you for joining us today, and we congratulate you once again.
Thank you, Ramona. Thank you for taking me on the air. Thank you very much for all your help.
Absolutely. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you too, and you too. Great Sunday for all listeners.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.